Hey guys, Tales of Turam here. We're back today with another episode? No, another video. This video is a continuation of the tale of Steel and Fire, or whatever I called it. However, this one does not have Domino, who is Ryan Farrow's player again, because he has a lot of things going on. So we're here with Chiron again, who is playing
Hello.
Theolyn, I believe, right?
Yep.
All right, and we are here today also joined by V, who is playing another character who will be introduced.
Howdy.
All right, so before we begin, a little background about what happened last time. Last time, Theolyn and Ryan had made their way back to the Citadel, wherein they talked about what they were planning on doing, and then it was attacked by what came to be known as a shadow version of the Baronet himself, most likely from another world when the rifts in the many timelines opened after they were destroyed. Being pulled here, he seemed to attack Ryan and was quickly dismembered by what I'm calling the investiture of flame, with a large spectacle. We then got into some not political, but some theology with Ryan and Theolyn, and Ryan's spark of flame was ignited once more after hearing from his compatriots he hadn't heard from in quite a long time. After which, he decided to return to rest for the night, and read a few other messages. Theolyn then went to sleep for the night, after uncursing the sword that the Dark Ryan had, and taking on a pact with the King in Iron himself. They then began to get ready in the morning as Theolyn began to have dreams from the dreams the night before, began to look into them, traveling south of the Citadel quite a bit. He eventually realized it would take him too long to get to the city he dreamed of, and returned to an angry Ryan Farrow. And that is where we're beginning. So, play music. All right. Repeat. So, Theolyn.
Mm-hmm.
As Ryan stares down to you in his noble posture. Theolyn, where have you been?
I Sugaroth had sent me a dream, and not knowing the geography of these lands, I tried to seek out the city of which I dreamt. And about an hour or two into the journey, I realized it would take me far too long to get there, so I doubled back, post-haste. I apologize. I tried to tell you through asking one of the guards, but I'm not sure if that,
They informed me, but I wish to hear it from yourself. Now that your little field trip is over, shall we depart to the capital?
Yes, of course.
We will be stopping at the Embered fields in between our travel. I need to speak with the new mayor there
Okay.
about recent events and the simple banditry that's been found around these parts. So, let's get going.
All right.
As you climb upon the griffin steed of flame of Ryan Farrow, you begin to travel through the skies. Roll me a D100 if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Rolls are 1d100. 30.
A small bit of wind picks up some of the sand that's left in these deep valleys and crevices of the Canyon district, because every time I've described the area, I forgot that it was in the Canyon district, which means there should be canyons and gorges around the area. We'll just say this is in a large kind of valley area where there's a scar, just because, and there's like some desert here too, open desert. As you travel through, the wind picks up and a bit of sandstorm kicks into your face, but you manage to bypass it enough of the travel that you can continue along. Ryan turns back to you. We can stop here and hunker down. We can go on foot, or we can continue to fly. Flying would be the most dangerous option. but it would be the fastest.
We can continue flying if you wish.
Of course. Be on the lookout, Theolyn. There are many dangers in these areas. As you continue to fly. At this point, 5 hours has passed. Go ahead and make me another D100 roll.
66.
At this point, you start to feel the air around you is... Your hair is rising on your neck, and you feel static is starting to build up around you. Ryan goes, "That is not good. Prepare for impact." And you see him cast a spell on himself.
I'll cast Bless on the both of us.
Okay. As a bolt of lightning strikes down directly on you two. Make me a Constitution saving throw, because you're not dodging out of the way of this shit. And you have disadvantage because you're wearing plate mail.
I'm wearing a breastplate, but
it's still metal armor.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to clarify because that would have affected my AC. So I'm within. Ryan is also within my aura, so if they're not fine, they can add a +5.
No, he rolled like a 36.
Plus.
And you're in his aura too, just so you're aware. So you get like a plus. I think it's a +7.
Oh, then I have a +12 total.
Or something higher. I think I would just go with +10. Just add a +10.
Okay. Then I have. Okay. A 20.
20. You succeed. As the lightning strikes you, you only suffer 13 reduced to 6 points of lightning damage. As Ryan looks down over the edge of his griffin. It looks like we have a wormling. We'll deal with him later. We've got important business. As you guys go a bit faster. And manage to outrun the wormling. The blue dragon wormling.
Okay.
Or, as you look down, it's a bit bigger than a wormling. Probably a young dragon.
Oh.
Eventually, the two of you land on the outskirts of the Embered Fields, as the sandstorm is starting to pass down, and at this point it's about 3 o'clock. You have about 3 more hours of lights ahead of you. As you see Ryan steps off the griffin. Theolyn, I must make merry with the locals here.
Okay.
Speak to those who you wish to speak to. These meetings are somewhat personal and long.
Okay.
Anyways, and he waves his hand backwards as he furls what little cloak he wears. I should get going. And he starts to head towards the tower that's almost north-central of the town. As you look upon this small town, you see large adobe and somewhat refurbished wood that's been recently placed, as well as stone walls that seem to are in the middle of constructing to make them higher. At this point, they're about 5-7 feet tall, and they seem to be trying to construct them to be about 15 feet. There's a few palisades made of stone slabs as well, but on the eastern side of the village and kind of wrapping around to the southern side, and you're coming from the west, you can see, the northwest a bit. You can see what seems to be large areas of a tent-like city. You can see some that have been burnt down and some that are currently being refurbished, and some that are being pulled down as people walk into the town. And from this area, you can, on this like small hill above the town, you can see the town looks like it has been scorched recently, but it seems to be repairing itself very well, and houses are being rebuilt. Not like very recently, but pretty recently, within like the last few months or so. The tower is the only thing left standing, and it's at kind of an angle, a weird angle. Like, instead of being 90 degrees up, it's probably 80 degrees. So you could theoretically, a goat could walk on it. Anyways, as you're looking around, you also see there are goats and other creatures of the desert that are seemingly catalyzed here. There's a little bit of a wheat field, but not much. And you do see a few carts coming in and out of the town, heading towards the citadel and away from it. You see about 7 of them or so, some in the distance, way out of town. As you begin to approach the town, you approach it from the west, east, or south.
The east.
All right, so you walk through the tent city. As you begin to walk through, you see people are like selling small wares, and people are going about their day, collecting water from small like barrels that are off to the side in different areas. You could hear wind chimes blowing as the wind passes by. A few bits of sand swirl in front of you, and you eventually enter in through the eastern gate at the behest of the guards, saying that they were expecting you. Eventually, crawling in, you come to this beautiful tavern made of wood that's probably been imported and stone. As you enter in, you could see a beautiful, small tavern here. It seems to descend down a few steps as you enter in. There's a small, like 3-foot wide pathway to your left and right instead of descending down that goes to 2 small portions. One to your left widens out into a square area where there's a few tables set up. To your right, there is a few more tables. On the left side, if you go forward, there's a bar set up there, and to the right side, there's a stage. And then there is a staircase on the very far back that leads upwards to what you can see is a balcony above and probably some rooms. You can see there's a few people in here. In the very center of the room, a few people are gathered around the hearth telling stories and whatnot. V.
Yes.
In this dimly lit room, where are you sitting? In this dimly lit room, where are you sitting?
Oh. Likely near one of the tables closer to the bar. Not really hiding anywhere, just kind of near the center.
I'll say this. Basilius,
Yeah.
as you enter in, you see commoners, a few folk here that are probably travelers. The person that stands out the most is not trying to really hide themselves, but you can see that they're wearing a cloak of bluish gray color over their body. They have this kind of Eastern styled hair at the moment, and they have how many swords, V?
He has a few.
He has quite a few swords on his back and around him.
2, 3, as well as a rather large pike.
Yeah. A very armed and well-looking trained man. He seems to be, maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, as he takes drinks, he's just observing the room and absorbing information, it seems. And this guy is the person who sticks out to you the most.
I'll walk up to him, I guess, and you got room at this table for one more friend?
Yes.
If you'd like to describe your character, V.
Kalis is, hang on. He is about average height, 5'7". Wearing these long black robes, as well as these ornate leather gauntlets that go all the way up his arm, with pauldrons that have horns upon them. Currently, he doesn't seem to be wearing armor, at least from what you can see. Though, he is still very much alert, as though he's ready to fight, should the need arise. His hair is long and black, and he has a rather well-kept but somewhat short beard.
Okay. You see this individual, and he says, "Sure," as you sit down. I'll let roleplay ensue here.
All right. You look rather well armed for such a sleepy town. What brings you here?
I was hired to deal with some of the bandits. They were not liking my pace, so I ended up out of that job. I still look anyways. After all, if I find it, I might still be able to get the coin. But I made a decent bit anyways.
Well, that's nice to hear. It's always good to deal with those who harm the innocent.
Very much so.
Okay. I'll try and wave down. Are there any barmaidens, or do I have to go up to the bar and get a drink myself?
You probably have to go up to the bar to get a drink yourself. As you see, as you stand up for a second to approach the bar, you see this. I can't remember if he was human or half orc. Let's just say he's a human man. You see this human man, pot belly, kind of sideburns on. What can I get you?
Uh, I'll have two of a local favorite, I guess. I'm new in town.
Alright, I can get you some glass. What's it fucking called? Give me a second here, it's DM. I can get you some glass ale. And he goes over and he gets like this liquor off the shelf right behind him, and you can see it's in an ale bottle. Well, sorry, it's in a beautiful. It's in this like just green glass bottle. But as he takes it, he hands it to you and goes, "This is all specialty, this is glass ale."
Oh, nice. I'll have two of those then, please.
All right, and he grabs the second one. That'll be 2 silver.
I'll hand him a gold. Keep the change, please.
All right.
I'll
Goes
take the
back to
2
washing
gold.
dishes.
Yeah, I'll take the 2. I'll take the 2 bottles. Go back to the table, and like slide one. As like I'm passing by him to take my seat, I'll like put it next to him. Here, on me.
Thank you. As he's going to start drinking.
If you do pour it out into a tankard, I assume you would, Theolyn. As you pour it
Yeah.
out, it has the smell of alcohol to it, but as it pours out, it's crystal clear like glass.
Boy, we're about to drink some 99 proof alcohol. I'll take a swig. Yeah.
All right, both of you make con saves.
You have a +5 to this from my aura.
Actually,
My con's already pretty high.
Yeah, Basilius, because this is technically a no, it's disease and it's disease and poison, right?
Yeah.
So how that works is you get a +10 and advantage. So you have advantage and an extra +10 on this Basilius for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's my con save? It's just +2, so +17.
Nat 20
Yeah.
for 33.
27.
Yeah, you're fine. You're both fine. It doesn't matter. You both drink it, and it's heavy. It tastes kind of like corn-based liquor, which is strange because there's not really corn around here, but it's good.
An unexpected
Okay.
taste.
Fairly sweet. I actually quite enjoy this. I'll have to buy some before I leave. I'll share with Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
I would know the name.
You would know
right?
you would know the lord of this domain. Yes.
Yeah. Isn't Ryan Farrow?
Yeah. We're heading to the Citadel together.
Not Citadel, capital city.
The capital city together.
I see. Mind if I come with you? I have a couple things I should take care of in the city.
Oh, well, I don't mind, but it's not really up to me. It's up to Ryan. But I can take. He's in a meeting right now, so we can ask when he's done. But I'm not sure how long that will take. In the meantime, you're more than welcome to accompany me if you wish to.
Sounds good then. Again, I don't have much better to do beyond hopefully finding where all the bandits are.
Oh, well, I mean, we could search for them if you wish to. Sir Ryan said his meeting may take hours, so we could do a quick calm if you wish to. We should be back before we have 3 hours of daylight left.
Yeah.
We should be back before dusk, if anything. It shouldn't take that long.
6 o'clock is when like the sun disappears over the horizon.
Yeah, we should be back. I'll send maybe a message to him just in case, but he's in a meeting right now.
Yes, that sounds good. It would be nice to have a second pair of eyes to help.
You can easily fetch down like a young crier boy or something to pay him like a copper piece to send a message to Ryan.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, remove a copper piece.
Yeah. That's fine. I have
It's
a lot
in
of
town,
copper.
it's fine.
Yeah.
If it was out
I
of
have
town, it may cost you a bit more.
That's fine. I have 99 copper left.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
Like,
quick
as
fun
in
thing.
total?
Yeah, he probably means in total. Quick fun thing in my new system I'm creating, you two, and for anybody wondering, I'm creating a new system, yeah. The system works in terms of hundreds, so like, 1 gold is worth 100 silver, instead of like 10. I find that's better. Anyways, sorry, continue.
Mm-hmm. All right. I've sent my message now. If you wish to, we can leave now. Be back before dusk, maybe a little later. Shouldn't take that
Yes,
long, right?
let's get moving.
All right.
I'd rather cover as much area as possible.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
So, as the two of you stand up and leave the bar, you begin to walk through the town itself. And as you do, you both start to notice. You both were kind of unfocused while you've been walking through town lately. You're kind of like focused on your own things. But as you begin to walk out and around town, you start to notice small like blooms of flower have been building up in this desert. Like, UV, your character would know that this should not be here, especially since it wasn't here a day or two ago. And as you're looking at it, both of you are starting to walk, and it's almost like flowers blooming in a field around the town itself.
Interesting.
As you begin to just investigate for a second, I'd like both of you to either roll me nature or investigation checks.
See if there's a difference for me on those, because I'm pretty sure there is.
There is not a difference for me. I'll for the sake of it, I'll roll nature.
I'm gonna roll investigation.
You rolled a 5.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
They're planted and rooted here like they've been here a while, but you've never seen them, V. And as you you're standing on like a hill and you're looking at these, and they seem to be surrounding the town, like encircling the town, not fully, like there's patches of them and whatnot that have grown out of the ground, but not fully encircling, but you could see like the patches are starting to like, from this distance, as you watch for like a minute, you could see like a few more, the patches kind of spread a little bit and stop. You get the feeling that these are growing here at quite a rapid pace. Unsure what they are.
I'd like, so you said they're flowers, right?
From what you could tell, they are flowers. As you look down at them and like pull one up, it's like buds at the moment. And as you pluck one and look at it and like pull back the petals, you could see this beautiful orange, red, and yellow inside that almost pulses and glows like a fire. And as you look at the center, there's just like a single bulb in the center that's just yellow. And as you stare at it and like pull it up close to your eye, you can almost see it moving like a flickering flame. Or that's what you assume. If you'd like to make an Arcana check.
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Basilius, would you like to help him?
Yeah, I'll help him.
Okay.
The advantage, right?
Yes.
15.
As you both start to pore over what this could be, and you're pointing out like it's close look to fire, or like an ember almost. Basilius points out it looks kind of like an ember, and V, immediately in your mind you recognize it. You've read about flowers like these when you came to Durath. Your land has a lot of the land you're from, the land of Sakura, has a lot of symbology of flowers and all that stuff. So you have to kind of know this stuff. So when you looked into it, the natural plants and whatnot of this realm, you also started to look into the ethereal realms, the realms of different elements, things like that. And one thing procs into your mind. It's very similar, but it has a tiny different look, but these would be called ember lilies. And they are from the plane of fire.
Interesting. These are ember lilies, or at least very similar to them. From plane of fire.
I'll say you do know that they are usually found in the scorched fields or the burning palace, which is a pretty high, like, think of a large town, and the Burning Palace is like the palace of that city, that empire kind of place. It's a nobles area, and they're not very common in the Plane of Fire because they are plant life, but where they are found in either abundance, or it almost looks like, from a distant view, a roaring flame. And they are very beautiful and very sought after in the Plane of Fire as well. The flower language they would describe. Make me a nature check, because you did some research on this.
I probably can't give him advantage on this.
Nat 20.
Oh my god.
Never mind. You immediately saw these in the book when you were reading it, and you were like, these seem interesting. They resemble passion, loyalty, and scarcity in the flower language. Because usually you have to be pretty loyal to someone to adventure to the pits of the flaming, the flaming fucking elemental plane to find a specific area to get it, or to talk to the rulers of the Burning Palace to pluck some from their gardens.
The question becomes, why are they growing here?
It's true.
I'm gonna look for signs of, perhaps being a fire, before, like scorched earth,
You see parts
or
of the...
perhaps planar disturbances.
You would know that the town was scorched when the previous mayor made his runaway after it came to light that he had been hiring the bandits that were terrorizing the town. And he scorched some of the places. But you do recall something that happened the night before. The sky lit with embers and flames that almost looked like the symbol of a burning flower. Not burning flower, but the symbol of an opening kind of spider lily in the sky. But it was made of fire, and you saw where it originated from was this pillar of flame. Well, not pillar, this pillar ray kind of, this Kamehameha style of flame that just shot from the direction of the citadel that overlooks this land a few hours travel away. And as you're looking from this hill, the pattern that they're growing in looks like where those embers would have landed. It has a pattern similar to what you saw last night.
I have an idea.
Oh?
Do you know the citadel near here?
Yeah, I just came from there.
Do you by chance know if anything strange happening there last night?
Well, yesterday, the citadel was besieged by an individual, a very powerful individual, but Ryan dealt with him presumably before I got there. But where I found him, there was a giant hole in the wall, and the man that assaulted the citadel was dead. But before that, there was a giant flare of fire, this pillar. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I assume that came from Sir Ryan Farrow himself.
Well, there seems to be some sort of immense power related to that then, because that's how these came to be, I believe. The
What?
beam that came from the citadel seems to have created these flowers only overnight.
Well, Sir Ryan does follow in the ways of the King in Iron. Could it be their influence?
I'm not sure.
You've seen and heard regale of the King in Iron, because it's a religion that's actually being worshipped here in town as of recently. A celestial that's bound and shackled in plates of iron with gouts of flame coming out from their body. You know that they are... how do I explain this? They are a man of purpose. Purpose is what's given to the King in Iron. Kind of purpose, zeal, greatness, good. And bringing light to a dark world is kind of the basic domains here. Strength as well. and power.
So potentially, right?
Potentially? Potentially, yeah. Potentially you guys are thinking maybe that might be the reason, but you're unsure. But it does seem pretty damn sure. You are pretty damn sure that the power that was flowing and created that strange illusion in the sky last night is what has burnt and seeded these embers into the ground. These ember lilies.
Though, now that we know that, and we believe it to have been him, we can move on with attempting to figure out where the bandits are holed up.
Just one moment. These flowers are very beautiful. I wish to maybe garden some, and I'll pick some and put them in my backpack, try and preserve them, so I can take out their seeds later.
How many are you going to try and pick?
7.
Alright.
About a dozen or so.
You pick a few, and as you do, you stare at them, and they're not open. Like, you had to pry them open. They're still in their bud-like state. And as you're staring at these flowers, V, you watch as, like, the flowers' stems are starting to grow around Theolyn's hand. Not in a harmful way, but they're, like, growing around and grasping him. And Theolyn, you look down, and you feel a burning, but it's not painful. It's warm, almost like an embrace.
Is that happening with the one I'm holding, or no?
No. The one you're holding is, at this point, starting to shrivel.
Interesting.
Keep these on my person then. This is very nice, and I'll like put one like on my person, I guess, in a little in the pocket, in like the front pocket of my shirt that's under my armor. I'll put it there.
All right. You do so.
Curious.
I'll put the rest in my backpack.
Sure thing.
I'm trying to figure out why it's like trying to grow on him, but for me it's shriveled.
It's more like you held it and you were holding it for a long time, and it seems like whatever life was in the flower for you didn't seem to sustain itself very well. But you look towards Theolyn, and as you do, you can see like every so often, like bits of embers are popping off him in different directions. Like he turns around to like face towards the city, the town once more really quickly, and you could see like a bit of burn marks on his body that seem to disappear, and like these orange tattoos that appear on different areas.
You seem to have some fire within you. And I don't mean that exactly figuratively.
Oh, well, that might have been a recent change. But all the same, it's a test of my resolve, my will to help Sir Ryan Farrell, and it's a mark of who I am, I guess. And I'll clap my hands. Anyways, should we go search for those bandits now?
Yes, we should. I wouldn't mind learning more, but
I can
we
tell
need
you
to
on the
find the
way.
bandits.
And I guess we'll go searching for the bandits, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Give me a second. I'm just updating an NPC here.
That's fine.
Okay, so as you guys begin to search for the bandits, just go ahead and roll me a general investigation check, the two of you, as you begin to scour the surrounding deserts and canyons, the districts around here.
Can I give V the help action, or should I roll myself?
Who knows?
V, I'll give
you both roll. Don't give it advantage. Yeah.
Oh,
I got 17.
I got a 6.
17? 6?
Yep.
Alright, so that would be a 23 in total. That's enough. So, as the two of you eventually find a small cave entrance, you enter into it stealthily, and as you enter in, the first thing you notice, what are your passive perceptions?
22.
22?
22?
V, as you walk in, you put your hand out towards Basilius as the both of you stop there. You smell blood. You smell iron.
I think we may have found certainly something.
Let's go deal with it. And I'll draw my
Carefully.
greatsword. Yeah. And we'll stealth, I guess?
Sure,
I
both of
mean,
you roll me
yeah.
stealth checks.
Oh boy. I did not grab proficiency in this shit.
Neither do I, but you know.
I'm also wearing heavy armor, which means I have disadvantage.
Oh boy. My breastplate doesn't invoke disadvantage, I believe? Yeah, no, I'm fine, but it's just a
That's
flat
10.
d20 for me. 16.
16 and a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys continue, give me a second. So let me just do that. I'll continue finishing that up when I'm finished with this, but I gotta get to another site here. So, as you guys enter, and you begin to walk through a few tunnels where you see a few cages and hooks hanging, and you see the first dead body. A man dressed in leathers and with some strange desert clothing on, which you almost immediately proc as a bandit just because of how bad he looks, how bad he smells. And you can see that he's on the ground in a pool of blood that's not long stagnated, but the blood itself is starting to turn black. And you can see on his body some bubbling flesh as one of the bubbles of the flesh pops and you see an eye appear as it stares at the both of you, twitching around before the body just suddenly erupts in purple lightning and turns to goo.
We may be dealing with forces beyond comprehension.
You start to hear, "Ah! Hold on, what? Ah!" As you start to hear and the sound of combat further in.
Well,
We have to.
yes, let's get moving. It seems we're not the first to arrive here.
Yeah, I think we're just going to abandon stealth and run in,
Yup.
right? Yeah.
As you guys begin to run, you start to pass through a few chambers. As you look around very quickly, you start to see more and more dead bodies of these bandits just laid across the ground. Some of them are pinned to walls with what looks like large, just iron rods that have just been stuck straight through them. You can see most of their eyes are like glazed over with a purple. Basilius, Theolyn, roll me a history check. But you see that they're just glazed over. Their bodies are strung around. Guts are hanging out, and you can see their flesh is all bubbling, and parts of their bodies are exploded or torn off. You can see large tendrils coming out of parts of their bodies that have been cut off as well. You can see cages around here with people, but once were people that were kidnapped, that are also just cut up. And the cage isn't even open. You see the cage has been cut to the point where like a single blow just cleaved straight through the cave and the person behind it. And there's more rooms and more rooms. As you continue to pass and see this scenery multiple times, you count 30, 50, 60 dead bandits. And then you start to get to more furnished and beautiful rooms. Basilius, what'd you roll?
7.
7. Okay. You guys eventually get to a large door that's cracked open inwards. And you can see a streak of blood that just, like, pushes in there. You can see one guard, a bandit with, like, heavy, like, half plate that's rusted with a pike. And he's just dead on the floor, missing his head. And you can see the area around looks like it exploded. The head. And you start to hear, wait! I can give you money! I can give you information! Wait, please! Stop! As you hear, and you hear, I'll say your passive perception picks it up, V, because it's so fucking high. The sound of sparking lightning.
I believe we found whoever got here first. Though they seem to be after the bandits, same as us. As he's going to carefully walk forward. Just do not do anything that would provoke someone.
Uh, true. Yeah, of course. But I will. Oh, I know this doesn't last for an amount of time, so I'll do it when I like see them.
Okay, so as you guys start to push through the door and it opens, there's a creak as you look in, and you see what looks like a blackened knights with purple pulsing and glowing veins of energy throughout their armor. And you see they have a hand on a fat, noble-looking individual in beautiful white clothing that's a little bit soiled with some gold trimming to a cape on his back. Basilius, you almost
Yeah.
immediately recognize this person because you were told about who they were. This is the previous mayor of what are now known as the Embered Fields. And you see that the knight in front of you, the person wearing plate mail, has their hand just directly on their face, and the previous mayor's eyes are starting to go bloodshot as they're just sitting there. Foam is coming out of their mouth as the individual pulls their hand off and stops and turns around. And you see, if you go into Goblin Art, because I totally didn't, yeah, and you look at the last image, you see let me get the description for you because I actually wrote a description for this. Where is it? There it is. You see a warrior draped in black metal plate mail. It has glowing and pulsing veins of purple running through it. They wield a large sword whose blade is made of writhing flesh and tentacles with an occasional opening and closing and popping bloodshot eyes that turn back into the flesh. As you stare at it, you can see tentacles are starting to appear out from underneath their armor as well, and eyes are appearing in their armor. You see that their blade is wreathed in this pink and purple lightning that almost moves like a flame, which is strange because it's lightning. As it stares back towards you with this bar-like helmet that comes down. You can't see any flesh on them besides for their sword and the tentacles coming out of them. As they stare at you. It seems to cough. Well, it seems to make this guttural noise before sending its sword back and cutting the individual behind them, just cutting them as they start to bleed heavily and fall to the ground, their nose spewing blood as it stares at the both of you. I need you both to roll initiative, please.
Oh, fuck. Oh, bro.
We're gonna be fine, maybe.
Okay, so, Basilius, what did you roll?
Oh my god.
3.
Oh!
Yeah.
So the creature rolled an 18 in total. Did anybody roll higher?
No.
No. I
V,
rolled
what
a
did you roll?
17.
17? Oh, damn, he rolled a 17 plus 1, so that's... Okay. Theo at 3. Okay, that's a mistake. Hold on. Edit. Space. So, as the creature lets out a roar, it then immediately takes its blade with 2 hands and charges at you both. As it does charge, you see that it has to use its action, unfortunately, to make up the 60-foot distance between where it is almost central of the room. The room itself has numerous amounts of cages with individuals that are currently hiding, scared. A few of the cages are broken. You can see several guards of bandits in nice gear that's not rusted, that are all, just thrown around, killed, or, dying on the ground, bleeding out. You can see piles of gold and chests, beautiful, ornate chalices and whatnot that are piled up in the center of the room that this noble was, on before he was slashed and just fell down onto it, just bleeding all over it. It stands about 15 feet tall. And at this point, the creature is charging at both of you. As it gets within 5 feet of both of you, raising its sword, it's going to use an action surge to make 3 attacks. And it's going to attack... It's going to attack you, Theolyn. You see that it, charges forward and notices both of you, but it stares directly at you and charges you. As it makes its attacks, Theolyn, what's your AC?
15.
Okay. First attack.
I'm going to shield to make this 20.
Okay. As it strikes down towards you with the first hit, you put a shield up, as this arcane energy deflects it. It takes the sword, and you see it pulls its hand back as its hand is being deflected to the side. The sword disappears and appears in the other hand as it takes it and stabs it towards you. The shield deflects it as it's trying to push it through the shield. Unfortunately, that's going to hit. As it seems to take the sword and puts its hand on the other pommel as the sword, like, basically teleports, like, writhing tentacles through its arm to its other hand. As it puts its hand on the pommel, it pushes and manages to pierce through the shield as it stabs you. You suffer 14 magical slashing damage, 7 psychic damage, and it's going to add on, where is it? It's going to add on its maddening smite, which does, okay, let me roll this. Okay, so you suffer, so you got the other damage down, right? The 14 and the 7?
Yeah.
You suffered an additional 8 points of psychic damage, as well as 14 lightning damage. As this creature strikes into you, and the one, you, V, watch as it pushes through the shield, and it stabs through, Theolyn's shoulder. But it's not like a weapon. It's like the tentacles suddenly harden to steel and slash through him. And Theolyn, you're like, that didn't hurt. And suddenly you have this just flash of pain in your mind as you watch, as you look around. You watch, and the world turns dark as you stand upon a tower with abyssal winds blowing through the distance around you. Actually, let me get the music that was supposed to be on here, because I forgot to put the music on. Copy, and then we go stop, /play. Sorry, little bit here. Give me a second. As winds bypass you, almost feeling like they're cutting your skin. You look around and you see a broken, destroyed world, and you see in the sky multiple eyes in this overcast weather. Purple lightning striking in the distance, large bridges of stone that have shattered, and you see large withered creatures that are just walking around in distances around this palace that stands before you. As they all turn towards you, a single eye covers their entire face, and it flashes with purple as you hear, "Hello there." And suddenly the psychic energy passes into your mind, and you come back to. Anyways, that ends the creature's turn. It is now your turn, V. As you watch your friend get hit and, gets into a defensive position before they, take a second to, come back to, blinking their eyes, what are you doing in that second?
So, as Kalis watches this, he's going to immediately draw out his pike, and how far away is it?
It's right next to you. You both are right next to each other. It's dashed and then used its action surge to attack.
So he is going to...
This hulking figure is, very quick. You expected it to be, heavy strikes in a single shot, but it finessed you guys very easily. This is definitely a trained fighter. Probably... I'll say, just looking at it, your perception gets that the plate mail wasn't probably always like this, because you could see breaks where the tentacles have pushed out, and just immediately you recognize that this is probably someone that has been changed in some way to look like this creature. You don't know what they looked like before, but to your knowledge, their body is probably one of a trained warrior.
So as I bring down my pike, I'm going to shout, "Stop fighting! We are not bandits!"
There seems to be very little hint of intelligence in its eyes, to your knowledge.
Damn it. Fuck, I'm not gonna get any use out of that this time around. That's okay. But, as I'm slamming down, I am using my fighting spirit, so I get advantage.
That's fine. Go ahead.
26.
26. Yes, that hits.
Alright. So it'll just be Pretty sure we don't have any, like, additional damage to it, right? Yeah, no, I don't.
Just to let you know, when I calculated this creature's CR, it is CR 11.
Okay.
Alright. 1d10 plus... Let's see... How much? Plus 6 for this weapon. It's 11 damage.
Okay, and what kind of damage, sorry?
Magical piercing.
Okay, let me go ahead and... Sorry, I forgot to pull up its HP here. Calculator. You said 11 piercing?
Magical, yes.
Okay. Alright. You pierce into it with... What kind of weapon are you using? A longsword?
No, it's a pike.
Alright. You pull your pike and you just have enough time to stab into its shoulder. As you stab into its shoulder, it feels like you're pushing through mud, almost, as you stab into it. But you do see, like, this purple and black blood spatters out of it. It seems to still have the effect that you would want from it.
It still seems to have what?
It still seems to have a full effect to it, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it out and then just stab again, trying to aim for the same spot if I can. See if I can drive it any deeper.
Okay, as you pull it out and go for another strike, go ahead, making another attack.
Give advantage to the end of the turn, so...
25.
25. Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
$11 more damage.
Synchronicity. I gotta... Hold on.
Activates. I forgot to add its action surge, but I remembered it was supposed to have one, so I'm adding that to the sheet finally. Ability. Alright, so... save and finish, sorry. So, 11 more, you said?
Yep.
So as you push... Go ahead.
No, continue.
As you push further in, you push through its shoulder and destroy it as you watch as it stabs into this creature's neck. And you pull back out, and you watch as, like, some tentacles start to reform the shoulder, but it's not healing. You get the feeling.
And so, speaking of action surge, fuck. I'm going to be utilizing that.
Alright, you pull your pike back and you breathe as you go for more strikes towards, I assume, correct?
Yep. $19.
19, that just barely hits.
Oh shit, I was thinking I was gonna miss.
Nope, it's in plate mail, but its AC is 19.
Yo!
I'm re-rolling that.
What'd you roll?
7 damage. I'm re-rolling.
Okay.
They got the piercer feat, I think.
Yeah, buddy. So that is 14 damage.
14! Nice, nice. You're doing a lot of fucking damage to this thing.
Now imagine if I whipped out the goddamn greatsword.
It doesn't have a lot of health, but it does a lot of fucking damage and has... You guys aren't doing any of its immunities or resistances at the moment.
Oh, shit.
It has a few of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, the only reason I didn't pull out the greatsword is because my greatsword's not magical. I grabbed several different bladed weapons.
Yeah.
Because it made sense.
Yeah. Anyways.
And then final attack.
Which one are you making it with? A greatsword, you said?
No, still doing
okay.
this with the pike.
Okay.
I'm not using any of the others unless the pike ends up away from me for whatever reason.
Right. As you're stabbing him, like this strange goo of black and purple blood is spraying out, and as it's hitting you or hitting the ground, you can see like tentacles are growing out of it and just like hitting you in different places. You get the feeling there's some strange corruption to this person, like further than you thought there was.
The 17 misses though.
17. As you go to strike him the 4th time, this time he looks down to you and just grabs your pike as it slams straight through his hand towards him, but he stops you from hitting that point. And you look and you're like, why was there no blood? And you can see the plates in the hand seem to squirm out of the way so that it created a just wide enough hole to catch the pole arm.
Interesting.
It stares down at you. Anyways, does that end your turn?
Yes, it does.
All right. V, as you finish your turn, Theolyn, these visions of insanity and a world destroyed pass through your mind as you blink out of them and you watch your friend's polearm get caught, but the creature has been injured, and it's staring down at your friend, pulling its blade up in one hand to strike down at them. What are you doing in this moment?
I have my greatsword, and I'll move around it, not without its range, but so I'm flanking, and
Alright.
then I will bonus action use my Hexblade's Curse
Sure.
on it.
I will say this, Theolyn, as you're like dashing out of the way, you see some of the blood that has poured off this creature, been thrown off, it seems, has made its way into into part of the cage, and a bit of that goo has hit the ground, and tendrils are coming out towards some of the captives, and you can see them like screaming as it's moving towards them.
Shit. I can deal with that in a second. I will.
End of turn, I get to roll to see if it gets them.
Oh no! We're gonna try and kill it. Maybe that'll do something. I'll Hexblade Curse the creature.
As a bonus action?
Yeah, as the bonus action.
Alright, so
and then...
you watch as Theolyn grabs his sword, goes around, looks towards the cage, and stares at this creature. You can see, like, embers burning in his eyes for a second, but they go golden rather than orange. And as they do, you see them almost, like, fall off, and this... Have you guys ever played Dark Souls?
Yeah.
You know when you ember yourself, right? And you get, like, those orange tattoos around you? This burning orange, like, tattoo seems to burn around the creature, absorbing itself into the purple flames, into the purple, like, veins around its body, and it seems to, like, look down. Continue.
And then I'll strike with my greatsword.
You can't activate it, unfortunately.
I cannot activate it, and I will...
Unless you action surge and then activate it first.
I don't have action surge.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a
that's
paladin.
Right. That's right. Unfortunately, you only have one bonus action around unless you have action surge.
1d20 plus 5. I'm gonna channel divinity, give myself a +10 to this roll, and because I'm flanking, I have advantage.
Sure. You pull up your sword with quick haste, and anger and zeal fills you as you hear, "Finish it, kill him, destroy this maddened warrior."
31.
31. Yeah, you critical hit. Is that a natural 20 or not?
No, it's not. It's a 16 plus 15.
Okay, you critical hit it.
Plus 15.
I did a channel divinity and gave myself a +10 to the roll.
Wait, yeah, how do you only have a +5 normally? What's your strength? What's your strength?
A 13.
And if you're level 11, you should have higher
Plus
than
4.
3. Yeah, you should have a +4. So it should be a +6.
So +1.
No, because 13 is only a +1.
Oh no, I'm stupid. Yeah, never mind. Continue.
Yeah. Are 2d6 plus 1, and I think that's 3d6. That's not what I meant to do.
So you see,
I get
as
+4 to
Theolyn
damage.
pulls up this great sword, there's a dragonoid pommel on the bottom of this golden color, and it seems to wrap around the blade and the pommel itself. And you wouldn't think that it's able to like do anything besides bludgeon creatures at this point. But as he strikes down with it, he hits the creature, and I assume you're gonna smite with it, right?
Yeah, I was.
How many do you want to pour in there?
I'm expending 3 level 1 spell slots and 2 level 2 spell slots.
Okay, so that would be 2, 4, 6, and then 2 level 2?
Yeah.
12d8 radiant on top of that. Roll the radiant separately, please.
Yeah, that's...
How is there a +5 to your damage, if I might ask?
Because it's a Hexblade Curse, I get a +4 to damage rolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Hexblade.
You deal 13 points of slashing damage.
This is double, so it's 26.
26, yeah.
Magical slashing.
Yep. And then as you slash down, how much radiant? 96?
Yeah.
Only 48, because it's resistant to radiant. However,
okay.
You watch as Theolyn just gets to the other side as this creature starts to burn with the fire. And you hear the voice of your patron in your mind as you strike down. And as you watch him strike down, Theolyn appears on the other side of the creature as the creature just starts to shake with golden energy before exploding into 2 parts of into two body, like he just got vivisected to the either side, as this blackened goo on it gets flung around the room. As the combat is now over.
Can I remove curse on this goo?
Well, as you both turn around really quickly, looking towards each other, you guys start to see the goo is starting to burn away. The part that you had hexed is starting to burn away with fire. And the other parts, the parts that were moving towards the creatures, have stopped moving and fall into piles on the floor.
Well, that was unexpected, to say the least.
To free everyone here. Theolyn will start going around to the locks. I don't think he doesn't have proficiency in any of, like, sleight of hand shit, so I'm gonna try and fucking break the the locks to try and get them out.
You guys take a little bit of time to break the locks and eventually relieving the prisoners of their imprisonment. Let me just see if I can repeat this. Nope, that's wrong. But yeah, relieving the prisoners of their imprisonment here. You see quite a few humans and what seem to be a few demi-humans, which are humans but with like animalistic features. And they all are like very scared, and they start to thank you, and they start to explain what was going on, as a few of them start to mention that they were taken by these bandits. The mayor seems to have intercepted a few of someone named Lord Pochi's escorts to his land. And they were enslaved and brought here by a Lord Pochi Anderson.
The former mayor of the Emberfields was her messages from a...
He was basically stealing hostages from a strange caravan who was peddling slaves to Lord Pochi Anderson's land here.
Lord Pochi taking slaves being delivered.
V, your character knows Lord Pochi. He's a member of the King's Council, and he was part of the people that would be considered like the kind of assholes of the council, like the guys who want the king to be more selfish to an extent, to not care about the citizens. He's like one of those nobles. And recently, with the aid to the king having disappeared, and eventually brought back, but in a very horrible state to the point where he should be dead, and on bed rest for quite a long time, for the foreseeable future, Lord Pochi has taken the seat of the aid of the king, meaning that he is the king's right-hand man to basically. And he is rumored to be part of the slave trade, which isn't illegal in Durath, but it's frowned upon by most city-states here, yes. Certain beings don't have as many rights in many of the city-states, but it's still frowned upon to hunt down and enslave people without them breaking laws or something like that. It's also frowned upon by the Empire specifically to bring individuals from parts of Durath that aren't part of the Empire and bring them in to enslave them. And eventually the story of some of the demi-humans starts to turn to that kind of area.
Gotcha. Also, Goblin, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm starting to lose my focus some, so I apologize if I ask you to repeat things.
I'm handing out lay on hands like it's candy to these former slaves. Here's a little bit, here's a little bit, and I'll, like, if I can, try and cure any diseases if they have any.
Yeah, you eventually do so, and you do see one slave that seems to stay in the, he seems to be locked up in manacles. He has this, like, he's a dragonborn, he has this maw that's just been shackled, and he's just locked there. It's a black-scaled dragonborn, and he seems to be in similar clothing to V's character, Ronin-style clothing. And he's just staring at you.
You poor man! And I'll, like, rush over to him. Is there a key? No, I'm cutting through the chains.
As you, like, pull out your sword, you see he's standing up and just rips them apart. As he takes the maw and just rips the shackle off that.
So you could have escaped whenever you chose.
And leave these innocents to die?
An understandable reasoning for staying.
I was biding my time until that warrior marched in.
Are you hurt in any way?
Unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately,
I haven't been injured in quite a long time. Now, I thank you for your aid, as I do not believe I could have slain that warrior on my own. Who am I kidding? I could have. Even with my
no
bare
problem.
hands. However, these people need to be brought to safety. And I
yes,
do not escort people.
Okay.
It is alright. We can lead them back to the town.
We should get the money back too to help with the repairs.
What is your
Indeed.
name, Holy Knight? He's looking... Well, what are your names?
I am Kalis.
And I'm Theolyn.
I will remember your names and faces and come to challenge you one day. I am Gao, a warrior known quite heavily amongst the people of Dust Valley.
I look forward to. I look forward to your challenge.
Well, I first have to find my blade that was taken from me. I believe this Sir Pochi Anderson may have it. Looks like I'll be tussling with a lord.
Well,
and he begins to walk out of the room.
Best of luck to you.
You should look around here for information.
I know where I'm headed.
Okay. Alright, I'm trying to remember your name, sorry. Kalis. Kalis, we, let's get these people back to the Emberfield town, and we should try and get as much money as we can. That town is in desperate needs. We'll probably need the money to help get it repaired.
I'll say, as you guys begin to gather some of the money, some of the slaves are helping you because, like, this is more money than they've seen probably in their entire lives. You can see a few of them are, like, putting it in their pockets, trying to be sneaky, but your passive perceptions are too high. Eventually you do manage to get quite a bit of it, but it's probably, looking at this pile, it's probably piled up about 12 feet high, and there's not just coin in here. There's multiple different large pieces of, like, plaques or, like, large just squares of gold, which is weird. There's furniture in here that looks very ornate. Like, it looks like this mayor, from when he ran from the Embered Fields, took anything that could be used to, should I say, prove that he was embezzling funds.
Okay.
And he has... Looking at it, the amount of coin in here is probably close to, like, 300, 500,000. And the amount of just everything that's worth in here, even the cages are pristine. They're not as rusted as the ones in the rest of the hideout. The amount of gold that you could probably get from selling all the items in here, plus the gold that's in here, you estimate probably about 3 million.
Oh my goodness.
That's how ornate everything in here is. And there is not enough room for you to bring anything here. Like, all this stuff. There's, like, couches and shit.
We'll have to inform the mayor, but,
Indeed, that way they can come get it.
There's more than enough gold for everyone to take a few if you wish. I look pointedly at the people that were already stealing. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of gold here. So take some if you wish. So please leave a large amount so the town may be rebuilt. And we need to inform the current mayor so that we can get people coming in here and escorting all this, because we cannot take it all, obviously.
Yeah. At this point, the people are helping bring it outside and whatnot, as the two of you are, like, looting the room to see if you can find anything valuable. Make investigation checks, if you will.
My investigation is a +1.
Or perception, if you just want to look around, rather.
Oh, shit.
I like to look around.
I'm guessing perception would be a harder DC, though.
Yeah, it's a much harder DC, because you're not, like, you wouldn't be able to see anything under the gold piles and whatnot. So if
No,
there's anything...
I'll investigate, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do investigation. My perception's better, so if I don't see much, I'll try perception.
Okay.
I got a 20, not natural.
Okay. V?
13.
as you're both investigating, you find a few gemstones that look interesting, so you put them in your bag. Add 30 gold worth of gemstones to each of your inventory. V, you find what seems to be a small necklace that has a golden chain to it, a small emerald in the center of it, and it has a latch on the back. You can feel a faint detection of magic from it. Basilius, you find a small, like, porcelain hand with a ring on each of its fingers, and you detect magic from it, each piece.
Do I detect magic from the hand, or just the
Yes,
rings?
you do.
I'm gonna walk. Continue.
Well, as you're both like looking at these items, you're right next to each other, like looking at each other, like basically giving a look of like, we need to get these identified. You suddenly hear shifting, and you look backwards, and you see the previous mayor has stood up and turns around and looks at you. His eyes covered in dark black. Suddenly, almost like an ember of purple appears in the center of them. I need both of you to make intelligence saving throws.
You have a +5 to this.
Yeah.
Because
Couldn't
of
it
my
be
aura.
wisdom, please?
No, unfortunately, no. Actually, no, this is more of showing you a vision rather than it is messing with your mind. So it's intelligence.
Okay.
You have a +5 for my aura.
30-20.
I had a 16.
16?
Yeah.
V, you hold steady as your mind seems to be guarded heavily, and in this aura of you guys watch as like this darkness like starts to coat the cave. This mist pours with a heavy force like a wind. But your character watches like as they have their hand on their pike or their weapon ready to strike. You watch as this golden barrier with like a little bit of burning embered like flame around it starts to protect you, and you look over towards Theolyn and you watch him just like pull his entire body just locks up. His eyes start to glow purple as he falls to his knees, and you just see his mouth opens as a glow starts to come out of it. Theolyn.
Yeah.
You're once again in that strange visage of a world, twisted and corrupted. Trees turn to tendrils, moving and shifting and glitching to different parts of the world. You see these large figures walking. You see individuals that are simply turned black, that are just walking around like their bodies just completely matte black. You can't see any details about them. You see individuals whose heads are missing anything besides just the outline of it. There's just hollow head from end to end. And as you stare at it, your mind is pulled like a black hole into it. As you continue to move around and try to run through this place, days, years start to pass. And you start to look to your hand as it ages to elderly, then back to youthful again. As you look around, the winds blow. Up is down, left is right. The sun is dark and black, but has a purple outline to it, and it opens into an eye staring at you. And suddenly everything goes black, and multiple eyes start to open around you. Join us, join us, join us, join us. Join us. It's beautiful, right? I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. With advantage.
Will I have my aura?
Unfortunately, no. This is your mind rather than your body.
20 plus 7 advantage. Natural 20, 27.
As you're starting to lose your sanity, you're starting to maniacally laugh a little bit, and you're starting to see the beauty in the world that you've been presented. Suddenly, some stones start to appear before you. These large stones, crudely carved with ancient writing that you can't read. You're starting to realize what they say, and then suddenly, they start to glow orange and shatter into volcanic rock. As you see the eyes turn around, as they're attached to these dark stalks that appear to connect to nothing, and you hear, You were supposed to have fallen. And you hear, I have been reborn by flame and zeal, given purpose by steel itself. You are nothing but madness. Leave. This is not your world. As suddenly flame erupts and the darkness disappears, UV watch as that purple suddenly turns to a deep red and orange, and suddenly your friend lifts off the ground and erupts into flame around you as those abyssal winds and mists suddenly burn away. As he lands on his feet again. Basilius, you do suffer from the ordeal, 2 points of exhaustion.
Oh boy. What does that do?
You're fucked, basically.
Oh,
Look it up. It doesn't matter. You'll
yeah, I'm
get a
looking.
narrative. You'll get narrative long rests here at some point. It won't really matter. Just remind yourself, anyways. V, you watch as he comes back to and he's breathing heavily as parts of his body have burnt off into cinders that are flying off him.
Are you right? What happened?
I was in a. What day is it? So much time.
It's still the same day.
That was like an entire minute for you, V, but it felt like years, decades for him, I'll say.
It's only been about a minute.
It was so much time. That origin of the monster we just fought. I was pulled there. Almost succumbed to madness, but I think the King in Iron came and expelled it.
You look down towards your right hand, and your hand is just engulfed in flame at the moment before it starts to steam out. And you didn't notice it, but your body temperature is raised heavily at the moment, and you focus and calm, and it goes back to normal as the embers stop pouring off him, V.
I can't say I know what just happened.
It's all right. I think I'm fine. I'm just exhausted beyond belief. I may need some rest, but first we should focus on escorting the captives back to the Ember Fields.
Yes.
And we should inform the new mayor about all this gold and value here. They can use it to help repair the village and maybe other things. I'm not sure. I'm not a city runner.
They should be able to use it for better purposes than the last mayor, let's put it that way.
As you look towards the last mayor's body, his body is slumped on the ground and it's starting to turn to black ooze into a puddle. But his clothes still remain. And any rings he was wearing.
Are any of them magical?
The rings don't seem to be magical, but make me an Arcana check.
Okay. You want me help?
Yeah, I will give help.
Alright.
Alright, what's Theolyn's Arcana check? That is just a +1. Thank God I have 20 +1.
Do you guys see what Gal looks like in the NPC's channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20? You start to look around his body, well, what used to be his body, and as you pull the coat up, you definitely get a magical feeling from the coat and a barouche he was wearing. The noble's coat is a nice high-collared coat of white color with golden trimming to it, and as you feel the inside pockets, your hand goes deeper than you thought it would, and as you pull out, you go all the way, the pocket doesn't even seem more than a few inches, but you go all the way up to your shoulder as you pull out.
What? Oh my God! What?
You recognize this enchantment immediately. This is similar to a bag of holding. This is a coat of holding. It has multiple pockets. Oh. Each pocket has a certain weight limit, and the coat itself weighs 50 pounds. It's a pretty heavy coat. Yeah.
I'll put it on.
You put the coat on. Oh, it's pretty fucking heavy. I'll say this. I'll send you the specifics, but each pocket has 10 pounds worth of limit. Well, not 10. It has about 30 pounds worth of limit to it. And you get the feeling you know how he got all this extra stuff here.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
You also notice the brooch he was wearing. The brooch seems to be this beautiful amber that seems to be in a silver and platinum chained necklace. And as you stare at the amber, you could swear you see something in it.
Can I bring it closer to my eye to see if I can know?
As you investigate, you see what looks like a beautiful room. A layout of a room with no walls. But you can see things that would be hanging on walls.
Is it? Is this like the JoJo thing?
Maybe.
The turtle from part 5?
Maybe.
I'll take a gold coin and hold it to the ruby, or the gemstone.
Unfortunately, as you like try to activate it in multiple ways, you get the feeling you have to attune to this item.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I have the sword I'm attuned to, and that's it. So if I want the hand, I can attune to the ruby gem thing and the hand, maybe.
I want the hand.
I have the hand. You got whatever your thing was.
Yeah, what is about that necklace?
You're not sure.
Could I try to attune to it?
It'll take you an hour.
Yeah, obviously. I'll do that as where, I just have remaining
500.
contact with it, so I can do that as we, stuff his pockets.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
managed to. I'll say this. You managed to, if you want to fill the coat of holding, you managed to get up to. Damn, that's a lot. Are you specifically going for gold, platinum? What kind of coinage are you going for?
I think we should go for
Platinum coin.
Or what
Yeah.
kind of? I would assume you're just going for coin at the moment because the extra stuff can be
Yeah.
brought back. Yeah. Platinum or gold, or silver or copper.
I think we should do a majority of gold because gold is probably a more common denominator of money that they can spend. Platinum is so expensive, you might not be able to spend it in most places.
Okay.
I think gold is probably the better option. I'll try and stuff it with gold.
So that many pounds. At 500, you can fit 50,000 pieces of gold.
My goodness. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. And
But that is
I'll
the
attempt-
limit of the coat.
That's fine. We'll fill it to the limit, and I will also be attempting to attune to the hand and the brooch I got from the.
And I assume this is
Dead
while you
noble.
are returning back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you attempt to attune to the brooch, it's a brooch of living space, of dimensional living space. It can basically be activated once a day to what is it called? To teleport you and up to 8 willing other creatures into the brooch itself. The brooch goes with you, but not everything inside the brooch. You're in a different pocket dimension.
Okay.
And when it happens, you can stay in there for up to 24 hours, or you can activate the brooch again to teleport yourself out. It recharges after 8 hours have been spent. It recharges after you've left the brooch for 8 hours.
Okay.
If you want to write all that down, please. And
I
you don't get to choose what it looks like inside. Whatever's put inside is whatever's put inside. You can also see the outside world from inside the brooch. So like where you were at that point.
Okay. I have the brooch of what was the item called again?
Just call it the
Brooch
Amber
of-
Brooch. It's the brooch of
Amber.
it's the brooch of extra dimensional living space.
I can spend one action to teleport me a or hang on.
Yeah. As you're doing the hand, I'll get you the hand after that. V, what are you trying to do?
I'm tuning.
The necklace.
Yeah, the necklace.
It's a necklace of fortification. While you're attuned to this item and wearing it, your AC increases by 1, and your Constitution score increases by 2, up to a maximum of 22.
Okay.
Dimensional space that.
As you guys are traveling back, an hour or so passes before you're starting to become into view of the city. And at this point, night is starting to take as the sun sets, and you can see all the flowers around the town are starting to bloom, and you can see this beautiful orange, almost like embered color to the outside of the walls of the embered fields. And now it actually looks like embered fields. As you begin to approach with your party, a few guards come up and you regale the story to them as eventually they're led to their destinations. And you are bought a drink. in the bar. And you spend the night regaling your legendary tale, your expedition of the day. And as you awake the next day, in your rooms that you've been provided, coin has been given to you. 5,000 in total. And I assume you gave the 500,000 to the people of the town, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Each of you gains 5,000 golds. As well as your reputation here has definitely skyrocketed. So don't think that's all you get. There's definitely some other roleplay aspects.
Okay.
And as you both awaken a little bit hungover in the morning because they kept giving you alcohol, and you're not going to keep making those checks, Basilius. All you need is one failure. Eventually, you both awaken a little groggy, get yourselves prepared for the day to come, and that's where we're going to end this session. And I'm going to stop the recording.